When you're in the midst of a crisis, you can be so bogged down with what's going on, the issues, the challenges, and progression of situations that you lose sight of where you actually need to be going and what you actually need to be doing. One of the questions, perhaps, which people might raise when I talk about innovation today is why is innovation important? Why should we care about innovation now? We've got COVID-19, we've got massive dilemmas, and you're talking about innovation. And the reason that I will continue to talk about innovation today is because innovation is the way forward. And you've got a choice, really and truly. You can either be bogged down with day-to-day news and issues and negativity. By doing so, you don't really benefit yourself, nor do you benefit others. Or you can try and figure out how you can move forward and how you can innovate. And for me, that's something which is positive, that's something which you have control of, and that's where you can make a difference. A crisis is like the perfect catalyst for change. It's the perfect provocation for you to move forward and do things differently. Improve your products, improve your services, improve your processes, improve your marketing, improve your culture and the way that you interact with each other. This is a perfect environment and a perfect provocation and push for you to actually move forward and innovate. Why not use it? Why not use it? I remember I was working with a company, a British German company, many years ago, and the directors within the company, including the engineering director, were very clear that the company needed to improve, and there were various issues, and they tried a few initiatives and it wasn't working. And they invited me and some of my colleagues as well to come and do some kind of a study to find out what was going wrong, what the issues were, and what the people within the company actually thought. And we did quite a significant or substantial field study where we interviewed people and spoke to people and we got their ideas. And we ran a workshop to try and get things started. But one thing that I realized was that the people weren't really ready to change, or there wasn't enough of an environment or a drive or a force to make them change, despite the directors unanimously agreeing that something needed to change, despite them standing in front of everyone and saying, look, we're making it absolutely clear that we are agreed that something needs to change and you guys need to make a difference. You need to change the way you're doing things. We need to start investing time to improve the way we're doing things. But many years after, they remained in the same situation. And one of the key reasons for that was because there wasn't a strong enough push and strong enough force for them to change. Within this scenario which we're living, where we've got an environment where business has literally been brought to a standstill and our engineering operations have been brought to a standstill, our manufacturing workshops and centers have been halted, can we think of a greater provocation for change than this? We need to figure out a way forward, and we need to figure it out quite fast. I understand that the times right now and the challenges which you're facing are very tough and very constraining. So to actually bring yourself to be creative is a huge step. It's actually a lot to ask. But what I would suggest is that we start to think about the future and positive outcomes. And as we do so, we will start to gravitate towards them. And this idea or this theory, which you may well be familiar with, is known as the law of attraction. The law of attraction. If you are focusing on the things that you worry about and negative results and losses and other problems, then you're more likely to head towards them because you imagine them, you feel them, you picture them, and you're more likely to move towards them. If, on the other hand, you think about the positive results, a great turnaround which you could possibly bring, a massive new development, a great new piece of technology or functionality or feature you can add to what you're already doing, then you're more likely to gravitate towards that. All your subconscious could be directed towards that. All of your effort could be directed towards that. And as I said, you're much more likely to achieve that. It's called the law of attraction. There is a principle in business, or perhaps it's in politics as well, and that is that you observe the masses and you do the opposite. So where you see your competitors, for example, all doing one thing or all focusing on one thing, you can do something different. You can innovate, you can be creative and figure out something different to do, which your customers will love, which people will love, and which will really make a difference. Now's the time, because most people, at least, they are constrained. Most people won't be able to push themselves to innovative and creative thinking. If you do that, what difference do you think that could possibly make? Another key thing that I would advise is to try to get past the barriers and fears you have towards innovation, because those barriers will hold you back and you need to get past them to actually innovate. It's quite likely that if your company doesn't innovate now, it will die. And this has happened to many companies whenever there is economic turmoil, such as during the 2007-2008 recession, and similarly at points both before that and afterwards when there's political and economic turmoil, companies die. If you don't want that to be the case, make sure that you turn your attention towards innovation. If you don't know how to innovate, if you struggle with ideation, then seek help and learn how to do that. Get people in, ask people who are innovation consultants to come and help you, people who know what they're doing, people who can run productive workshops, and they don't have to be in person. It can be online, as long as the people you're working with actually can take you in the right direction. Then get their help, seek help where you can. If your people or your staff, the people that you work with, if they struggle with innovation, if they don't know where to start, similarly, now's the time to empower them and upskill them and encourage them, so that we can actually start to push innovation forward, and that will have an impact on the future and the future of our companies and our organizations. If you need inspiration, seek out inspiration. Seek out inspiration from books, from videos, from courses, from YouTube, wherever you can find inspiration. Then seek that inspiration out and provoke yourself to actually innovate. Turn away from the news if you can, and turn your attention to something which is positive, something which will benefit you in the future. If you think innovation is expensive and very hard and difficult to do, then you clearly need to figure out a way or learn a strategy to innovate without it being expensive. There are low-cost strategies for innovation. There are rapid, fast strategies for innovation. You need to learn them. Perhaps now's the time to learn them and to actually put them into practice. Another key piece of advice that I have is to use this time to refocus on your customer needs. As a business and as an organization or as leaders within engineering, it's very easy to become sidetracked or lose focus on our customers and what they really need and what they really want. Now perhaps is the time to go onto some forums and see what customers are saying, to call your customers and see what they're going through, to understand their circumstances and see how you can react, see what new features they could potentially be interested in, see what new functionality makes sense to bring in now, find out about new technology even which they might be interested in having in the products and services which you offer. Now's the time to build connection with your customers. It might be that through the crisis which we're in, customers lose connection with you and with your company, and over time they go elsewhere. Now is the time to maintain that communication and invest in that connection with your customers. Look for opportunities. Now is a time where, as I said, things are chaotic and all over the place. But with chaos comes opportunities. There are so many opportunities now. Opportunities for improvement, opportunities for innovation, opportunities for business, opportunities for change. It's all on the table. There are millions of opportunities. The question is, which opportunities will you pick up? Which will you benefit from? It's your choice, but you can actually turn your attention to these opportunities now, especially if you do have some space in your diary. And the last recommendation which I wanted to include in this short video was, don't give up. We're in challenging times. We're surrounded by chaos. There are so many issues, But now's the time to rise up. Now's the time to make a difference. Now's the time to take all that experience and all those skills that you've gathered over the years throughout your career, throughout your education, and throughout all of the activities you've been involved in. Now's the time to utilize that and be versatile, be flexible, be innovative, and make a difference. Don't give up, keep on going, and let's get to the other side successfully and positively.